It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
Yes, wake up, Palace. Happy Wednesday morning. Wake up, wake up. You heard the man. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. If you're on your way to work, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday to you. If you're at home about to log in for a meeting, working from home, remember it is a blessing to be working from the comfort of your home, y'all. Thank you, Mama V, Lynn Selders. Good morning. Aquarius 1982, Miss Chanel. Thank you for letting me know I am coming through loud and clear. This is Wednesday morning coffee talk. For those of you, if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the Palace. Listen, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, as you can hear it in my voice and in my chest, but baby, one cough, one sneeze, one stuffy nose does not stop this show. We are forging full speed ahead. I had to sleep in a little bit longer, but I am here, y'all, and thank you for pulling up in the Palace to talk all things corporate this morning. Listen, if you're on your way to work and you're in traffic, because I don't know what your schedule is. Listen, some of y'all have those hybrid shifts. Some of y'all, you go in, you don't have a 9 to 5. You have a 10 to 7. You have a whatever. Listen, God bless you. But I just want to know if you're on your way to work and if you're in traffic, baby, holla if you hear me. Yes. There they go. There they are. They're on their way to work. If you're sitting in your cubicle, honey, type it in the chat. Let me know you hear me loud and clear. And listen, don't be getting in trouble at work today. I said type it in the chat. I don't want you to get so excited in your cubicle that you jumped up and you say, "Good morning, Queen," and your whole office space is looking at you like, "What the hell?" Okay? We don't want HR tapping you on your shoulder saying, "Excuse me, can I talk to you for a second?" We don't want those kind of problems. We don't need those kind of problems on our corporate segment. Listen, Sarah, you have a good day going into work, honey. Don't you speed. And listen, if you're already late, you may as well pull over to Starbucks. Listen, I'm serious. If you're already late, go ahead and stop and get your coffee. Go ahead and stop and get your coffee. Listen. You may as well make it count. Hell, if you're going to get in trouble, you may as well make it count. Lavinia Williams is at work, y'all. She's sitting at her desk. Now, Lavinia, my question to you is, you got a desk or you got a cubicle? You got a desk or a cubicle? Savannah 912 said loud and clear from her office. Okay, Savannah says she got an office. Sarah says 100%. Go ahead and get your coffee, honey. If you are late, you may as well make it count. Always be cute says, "Good morning, Queen Sheba, Palace members and guests. I'm home getting ready for a 10 a.m. meeting." Listen, girl, you are an early bird. So go ahead and get you a cup of coffee. Palace members, I hope you enjoyed your coffee. Good morning to everybody. Are y'all ready to talk all things corporate America? Are y'all ready to talk all things mental health? Listen, financial wellness, health and wellness, all of that good stuff. Y'all, I got some really good tips today. We did not have a show last Wednesday, but we are back and we are strong today. And honey, I got some sleep and I'm feeling good. So let's go. Let's go. Okay, Sister Soldier say, "I'm not studying work." Okay, girl, you better hope work is not studying you. You better hope HR doesn't come tap you on your shoulder and say, "Excuse me, can I talk to you? We notice your Skype button. We notice your WebEx that you've been gone for over an hour." Do not say, "I was listening to Queen Sheba for my mental health on Wednesday." Don't bring me in it. Don't put me in it. Listen, that's on you. Because if they come and they ask me to testify, I'm going to say, "Well, what she said on August 14th, she said she wouldn't study." And they're going to say, "Excuse me, ma'am, what does stud mean?" "Sir, I mean, she ain't worried about it. She was not worried about this job." She says she ain't worried about that job. Yep. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Well, let's jump in. So, if this is your first time here with us, what we do is we start off with a word of the day. Chi Town girl Naja says she's off today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Listen, we start off with the word of the day. Wait a minute, y'all. Don't put it in the chat yet. Let me explain to the newbies. What we do is we assess where we are mentally and emotionally. I want you to think about where you are mentally, your heart posture. What kind of mood are you in? Or what are you trying to aim for by the end of this segment? What are you feeling right now? It's only one word. Don't give me three. Don't give me two. Let's see who can follow instructions. One word, drop it in the chat. What are you feeling right here, right now, today? Or what are you trying to feel as this segment wraps up? Let's go. Let's go. All right. Gwen Nelson coming in with excited. Lynn Selders is coming in feeling blessed. I see hopeful. I see hopeful from Toot Latrice, my moderator. Regina B is feeling radiant. That's a good word, y'all. Look at us getting better as women. As women, look at us entering into a positive realm of emotional well being. I absolutely love it. Sarah is feeling content. Come on, Sarah. Content with the heart, y'all. That means her heart posture is wide open and she's happy with the space that she's in right here, right now, today. I love it, Sarah. Cricket 22 is feeling blessed. Ernestine Clark. Oh, Ernestine, we love us some you. Ernestine is feeling joy. We cute. Oh, some of y'all going to work looking cute. Listen, they say when you know better, you do better. And when you hold on, when you know better, you do better. When you do better, you feel better. When you feel better, you look better. And Hair and More is looking cute going to work. We got peaceful. Janine Gatewood is feeling blessed. We got fulfilled. I love it. Fulfilled. Realigned. Savannah's feeling realigned. We got accomplished. You got to tell us about it, Jonette. You got to tell us about it. We got gratitude coming up in the chat. Look at all of these positive mental health words, y'all. Determined, energized, grateful. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you step into spaces. That's how you show up for work. And most importantly, that's how you show up for yourself over and over again. The review hour with the E podcast is feeling renewed. We got blessed, we got encouraged, we got determined, we have amazed. I absolutely love it. Hell, even the dog lady is feeling graceful. Girl, what kind of dogs you got? Because some of them will take you out of your grace. Okay. We got peaceful. J Crew Squad, welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. The network specialist is feeling accomplished. We got another blessed. We got a lot of gratitude. And when you show up grateful, let me tell you something. Did you know that gratitude and fear cannot exist in the same realm? Shout out to all of you that are feeling grateful and gratitude. We got peace from Tam C. Thank you, everybody. We got Umbo. We got a lot of beautiful things coming. And you guys, as a community, I'm sorry, you guys and gals, you keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's what it's about, showing up together to make an impact together because we're hopefully all headed in the same direction. Okay. And that's living a life that we desire to live so that we are blessed on each and every level. Now, in the world of healthcare, they call it optimal living. But right here, we're gonna say we blessed on every level. Okay. Calm. I like a calm spirit. I like a calm spirit. And with that being said, what am I feeling? As a queen, I think I am feeling it's so hard to talk about yourself. What am I feeling? I think I'm feeling hold on, y'all. Help me out. Help me out. I got stuck. Hold on. What am I feeling? Hell, peaceful. I'm feeling peaceful. That's what I'm feeling. And with that being said, I thank you all for sharing how you're feeling today. Snatched by Diego, welcome. He says, good morning, Queen. Love you. Hello, Palace. Good morning. Look, we love you too, Snatched by Diego. We love you too. Look at Sarah. Sarah's on fire, y'all, in the chat. We love it. I absolutely love it. So, okay, we're going to shift. What we're going to shift is we're going to shift to the wellness segment of the day. Okay. I love you too, Miss Ernestine. We're going to shift to the wellness segment of the day. And what I want today's wellness tip of the week. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Can we get a drum roll? Do I even have any drums? Can we get a, you know what? We'll do an ear horn. All right, that's look, hell, that's good enough. We're gonna work with what we got today. We'll get better. We'll get better as we grow. But listen, the wellness tip of the day. I hope I didn't lose it, child. Let me see. Yes, here we go. The wellness tip of the day. I've put it on the screen. I've put it on the screen. Hold on, let me make it bigger. Pivot. Don't be afraid to pivot. And I am going to read the definition of pivot. Pivot is the central point, the pin or shaft on which a mechanism turns or oscillates, especially in business, completely change the way in which one does something. The wellness tip of the week is pivot. Do not be afraid to pivot. That means to change and go in a different direction. That could also mean pausing. I had to pivot, y'all. I had to pivot over the course of the past week because I felt like I was taking on too much, too soon, too fast. And yes, it looks good on paper. And yes, it looks good and it feels good to talk about. But was it sustainable? And my question to you is it sustainable? And if I had to be honest with myself, I'm going to say no. Sustainability is, can you continue like this for a duration, a long duration? When we think about long term, how long can you continue at the pace that you're going? And I had to pivot because number one, I said, wait a minute, hold up. I'm in my soft girl era. How many of you know what soft girl era means? Drop it in the chat. Valerie R says, pivoting is so scary. Why? My question to you is why? Why is it scary for us to call a time out, to pause and or change directions, set sail in a different direction? All right, Jay Taylor. Jay Taylor's in the building. He says, good morning, everybody. We see you. Welcome, Jay Taylor. Pivoting. Are you afraid to pivot? Are you afraid to change directions if you need to? What makes you think that once you've made a decision, you have to continue on in that direction? Because we only know what we know when we know it. And as we gather more data, as you live a little bit longer, as you become more experienced in your endeavors, in your business craft, in your role, it's perfectly okay to pivot. So, my question to you, Valerie, why has it been scary? Have you even carved out a place and or a space to have that conversation with yourself? Savannah 912 says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. But if you think about pivoting, it's just directions changing directions. And Valerie, the reason why I'm asking you is because you're absolutely correct. A lot of people are overcome with fear when they think about changing the course of their lives, changing the direction of their career, changing the direction of the relationship, the conversations, the things that we should be doing. Because as you grow and as you evolve, because you're supposed to be becoming better, right? You will have to pivot. Regina B says, I'm not afraid of change. Change helps you grow. All right. So that's the wellness tip of the week. Pivot. Do not be afraid to pivot. Queenin, all 2024 says pivoting is necessary. We must know when to hit the gas or pump the brake. The key is knowing when it is necessary and giving yourself permission, y'all, to adjust accordingly. Okay. All right. So I want to move on. I would like to move on to the financial wellness tip of the week. Let's go. Because 85% of Americans, let's talk about it. A lot of your mental health challenges come from not having enough money. I'm just breaking it down in layman's terms, whether it's the salary that you make, whether you're a salaried employee, whether you're on disability, hourly, whatever it is, a lack of contributions in the household from a spouse, adult children, whatever it is, okay? 85% of Americans are afraid that their paychecks do not and will not cover their living expenses. So my question to you before I even give you the financial tip of the week is, how did you get here? Wherever you are financially and whatever mental state it's placed you in, how did you get there? Because on this platform, we also talk about accountability. And until we are honest with ourselves, we cannot make a change in the right direction. How did you get there? Valerie R says, I've had to work on being faithful, so I've pivoted several times. I'm working on learning. I cannot control all outcomes. Listen, that's a hell of a job. Would you want to control all outcomes? That's a hell of a job to be in charge of all outcomes. Trisha Berry says, I'm a corporate girl. I quit my job back in November. The job market is fierce. I had to pivot and do something outside of corporate to have an income stream. Congratulations to you. All right, here we go. The financial wellness tip of the week. Watch this. Very simple, yet 85% of Americans cannot do it and have not done it. Here we go.
Baby step 1, save $1,000. Baby step 2, get out of debt, everything but your house, using the debt snowball. Baby step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses for a fully funded emergency fund. Baby step 4, invest 15% of your household income into retirement. Baby step 5, start saving for kids' college. Baby step 6, pay off your house. Baby step 7, nothing left to do now but become very wealthy and outrageously generous. This is the plan that 10 million people have used to get straightened up. Baby step
1, save $1,000. Let's have a transparent moment. How many of you have $1,000 saved up? 1,000, not 500, not 6, not 7, just 1,000. I want you to drop 1 in the chat. Just 1,000. I don't care if it's over. We're just saying 1,000. If you don't, drop a 2. Drop a 1 in the chat. When we think about baby step 1, we got a lot of yeses. That's good. We're off to a good start. Because at least in an emergency, you have at least $1,000. Okay. All right. We got a lot of 1s. I see some 2s coming in. Thank you, 2s, for being honest. We got some 2s coming in. Okay. Chrysalis says, but due to FMLA, I had to use it up. So that would be a no. So Chris, let's do this. Just put a 2. Watch this. We got 2s. We got some 1s. Remember, we're honest. We're being transparent, because a lack of finances contribute to mental health challenges, stress, depression, anxiety, frustration, prolonged. We got some 2s coming in. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for your vulnerability. Now the 2s are coming in as we talk about vulnerability. You see how important it is to open up a safe space for people to be honest and to feel comfortable. So now the 2s are slowly taking over the 1s. Now I want you to ask yourself again, how did I get here? Don't write it down. Just ponder on that. Now let's go back to the video, and I'm about to break it down for you. Baby step number 1, he says, oh, we got a lot of 2s. You see how quickly the 2s are coming in? I told you, according to research, 85% of Americans do not. And that's nothing to feel ashamed about. We just need to get to the bottom of it. When we think about health and well-being, mental health, financial health, all of that stuff, because it all goes together, you guys. It all goes together. Let's go back. I got to play it again. Baby step number 2, and then the final step. I want you to listen very, very closely. Watch this.
Baby step 1, save $1,000. Baby step 2, get out of debt, everything but your house, using the debt snowball. Baby step 3, Save 3 to 6 months of expenses for a fully funded emergency fund. Baby step 4, invest 15% of your household income into retirement. Baby step 5, start saving for kids' college. Baby step 6, pay off your house. Baby step 7, nothing left to do now, but become very wealthy and outrageously generous. This is the plan that 10 million people have used to get straightened up. Baby step.
Whoo, let's have a truth moment. Baby step 1, save $1,000. 85% can't. And maybe that number has changed a little bit, right? Let's give a benefit of the doubt. Let's give a little bit of cushion. Let's say 75% cannot. Okay. So the 25% that can save $1,000, that's baby step 1. When you think about baby step number 2, pay off all your debt with the exception of your home. That includes your student loans. We're not talking about debt forgiveness. We're talking about you having the financial capacity to pay it off, the mental discipline to pay it off, not buying new cars to pay off every single debt. Most of us, the 15% or the 25% that are blessed enough to have $1,000 in savings don't even make it to baby step number 2, let alone number 3, 4, 5, and 6. We can stop there. We can log off. The question is why? The question is why? Then if we go to baby step number 7, he says, now that you've paid off everything, your job is to become wealthy and then generous. Let me say it again. Where are you going with this, Queen Sheba? I'm about to tell you. When you get to baby step number 7, your job is to become wealthy first and then generous second.
Oh my God!
Listen, I kid you not. So what does that mean? I have to put on my mask first before I can offer you assistance. Listen, let me drop the link. Y'all, this is not a game. I have to put my mask on first before I can offer you assistance. Is anybody here generously wealthy? I'll wait. Hold on. And while we wait, it's only fair to put on some elevator music. Exactly. Where am I going? If you have not been able to save yourself, nobody else can save you because we are busy trying to save ourselves. No one here, listen, is wealthy yet. According to his 7 steps of financial freedom, financial power, financial well-being. Because once you're able to achieve a level of financial freedom, what do you think that does for your mental health? I'll wait. Then you have a little bit of freedom. How much confidence do you think that would how much confidence do you think you would develop from being financially free? Financially free is I don't have debt. I don't have to wake up wondering what bill collector is going to call me today. So, if no one here is wealthy, and if you haven't been able to save yourself, 85% of the people will not be able to help you. Jay Taylor says, preach, girl, stop lending when you don't have it. It's okay to say no. That's right. And y'all, until you become wealthy, you should not be financially generous because now you're taking from your 6-month, I think that was baby step 6, where you're supposed to have 6 months of a storehouse of savings just in case something happens. So if I'm busy taking from my nest egg to give to you when you don't have 1,000, neither one of us are really in a position to be sharing our oxygen. Because and when I say I'm just talking. If I only have 6 months and you have none, we're both just right around the corner. From what? Losing it all. So I really want you to think about that. Number 1, how did I get here? And number 2, put your mask on first before you offer assistance. Chrysalis says, this resonates so much. I always give what I don't have. I'm very impulsive. Thankful for this live. Absolutely. Dr. Sarah Williams is in the building, y'all. Psychotherapist Dr. Sarah Williams is in the building. Listen, hi, Dr. Sarah. Good morning to you. Y'all make sure y'all show her some love. Valerie says financial freedom is the goal. And guess what? It's within arm's reach. If we can delay gratification. That's a change anything method. I don't know if you heard about the change anything theory, where they utilize the marshmallows with the little kids and they put these little kids in front of these big fluffy marshmallows. This was a a research experiment. And they had children from all over the world, different backgrounds, different cultures. Some of them didn't even speak English. And they put these big, beautiful marshmallows in front of these kids. And they said, we're going to leave and I'm going to come back. And when I come back, you can eat your marshmallow, but do not eat the marshmallow until I come back. But they never told the children how long they would be gone. So the researchers left the room, they closed the door, and the children sat and they sat and they sat. And I wish I can play the video for you. But the point is, when they came back, the children touched the marshmallow. Some of them even beat it with their fists. They touched it. They stretched it. One of them licked it, but they didn't eat it. And then when the researchers came back, they said, now you can enjoy your marshmallow. What is the significance of that study? As children, we all have the capacity to delay gratification, but somehow, somewhere, as we become adults, we put that skill set, we put that coping strategy aside, and we no longer embrace delayed gratification because we want what we want when we want it. And as a result, our lives have become so imbalanced, we've become so stressed, so ridden and filled with anxiety, that our life no longer belongs to us. We're in debt. We can't sleep. We don't take care of ourselves. We're showing up wrong in the workplace. We're aggravated. We're irritated. We don't have enough. There's not enough time in the day. And we are looking and we are clamoring for freedom. And we don't even have a roadmap of how to get there. We haven't even asked ourselves the hard questions. How in the hell did I get here? And that's what we're talking about. Dr. Sarah Williams says higher income status equals better access to health resources, life, and longevity. I can agree. I can agree. On the Rocks with Jada says, good morning, all. Good morning to you. And I'm sorry to be so upfront, so personal, and in your face. But if we don't talk about it, we cannot fix it. We cannot fix it. And that's the truth. And that's the heart of the matter. And there you are with your wellness tip of the week. And there you are with your financial wellness tip of the week. And I hope that gets you to thinking. And I hope that it ties back into what I said earlier. And it causes some of you to begin to want to what? Hold on. Let me say it again. To begin to want to pivot, to do something differently. You see how it all goes together, how it all coincides and works together? It's never too late to pivot. That's all I'm saying. Now let's shift. Ooh, it's time to shift into the corporate segment. I hope that was helpful for those of you that are tuned in. All right. So let's ooh, y'all, I got a good one. This is a truth moment. Y'all ain't gonna like it. But you know what? You don't have to like it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to shift into mentorships in the corporate America space. Mentorships in corporate America on your job. I saw this video and I'm going to play it for you. And it intrigued me in so many ways. I'm going to play it and then I'll share my thoughts, and you're more than welcome to call in and share your thoughts. Good morning, the Aset Noir. Good morning. She says, I was always the one who held on as opposed to pivoting. As opposed to pivoting, the Aset? Yes. It's perfectly okay to pivot. Watch this. We're going to watch this together. Here we go. All right.
Black people are underfunded but over mentored, and I truly believe that.
Oh,
Where we're
wait.
different with Black ambition, and this
Hold on,
mostly
y'all.
comes from like my past.
Hold on. You know what I did? Hold on. I have to take down the overlay. I apologize. Give me 1 second and let's try this again. All righty, here we go. Boom.
I know people say this quote all the time: Black people are underfunded but over mentored, and I truly believe that. Where we're different with Black ambition, and this mostly comes from like my past entrepreneurial, well, current, but like entrepreneurial experiences. I had some really great mentors, and I had a lot of BS mentors that would just look at my deck and say, okay, change this, change that. But like if I needed the buyer for Whole Foods and you had that person in like as a contact, as a college buddy, and you would look at what I'm building, understand the value of it, but you would never make that phone call for me, well, you're doing me more of a disservice. And that's what I've seen happen for the years that we were building Black Tech Week. That's what I've seen happen in the beginning years of Black ambition. Is like you had a lot of people that wanted to mentor Black people to get a pat on the back. They weren't actually valuable in opening up their Rolodex and opening up like their contacts and putting you on. I know people say this quote all the time: Black people are underfunded but over.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background. This is called this page is called Earn Your Leisure, and this lady discussed the goals of Black ambition and how they've helped. This is her organization, I guess, and how they've helped entrepreneurs raise over $1 million. And she also goes into detail or dialogue regarding the power of scarcity, creating demand, and how to scale your businesses and more. This conversation made me extremely uncomfortable because in this moment, I'm going to drop the link because I don't want this to be a one-sided conversation. I don't. And I'm a big girl. I love various opinions. I love various opinions, and I welcome different viewpoints. First of all, the first thing I thought when I listened to this is I truly believe that people don't understand. Most people don't understand. There is a difference in corporate America between a mentor and a sponsor. And what it seemed to be that she was talking about was a sponsor. A mentor typically provides guidance and advice, y'all, while a corporate sponsor takes a more active role in helping you advance your career, your business, your entrepreneurship. A mentor will provide insight into the company culture, job requirements. They're going to share their knowledge, and they're also going to offer you moral support. And they may even go as far as coaching you on specific skills, but it is not a mentor's job, nor is it their role to open up their Rolodex to connect you with the people that they're connected with. Let me say it again. Most people seem to not understand the differentiations between a mentor in corporate America versus a corporate sponsor. And I just want to, this is so important. We've got to get out of the thought pattern that these relationships are supposed to be one-sided. I would feel very uncomfortable placing my future, my outcomes, and my success in the hands of somebody else with more resources than me. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. You are never supposed to go to a mentor so that you can just get something from them. That makes you a charity case. You always show up, come bearing gifts. I told you this is a tough conversation. This is going to be a tough conversation. Well, what do you mean? If they're my mentor, aren't they supposed to be teaching me? Aren't they supposed to be telling me? Provides guidance and advice. But baby, you are in the driver's seat. They're not going to drive the car for you. They're not going to make the turn for you. They're not going to do the work for you. You're supposed to already have that momentum, that shift, and that energy, that motion, like Gen X and the millennials say. You're supposed to already have that motion. You're supposed to already be on that trajectory. You're supposed to already be that girl, that guy, moving and shaking. They're just there to call a couple of plays to assist you. But you are the beeswax. It has to be reciprocal. Do not ever show up expecting a mentor to hand you anything. You always, or you should find a way to give something back. It's called reciprocity. Do y'all understand, or am I completely out here by myself? The Aquarius 1982 says, I was taught to be useful in a room. That's right. That's right. To be useful in a room. Well, Queen Sheba, how can I give back? By showing up prepared, knowing where you're headed. If you think about our book club behind the wall of the palace, if you think about what Napoleon Hill said, he said when he went to Andrew Carnegie. Am I right? Yeah, Andrew Carnegie, he was prepared. He knew where he was headed. He didn't need career advice. What role should I take? What should I apply for? Does this look right? Does this sound good to you? Can you help me with my resume? No, that is not. Your mentor is on a whole different level. That's entry level conversation. Napoleon Hill was prepared. He had done his work. He knew exactly what he was reaching for. And he was so prepared. That's how you help your mentor. He was so prepared that Andrew Carnegie gave him one piece of advice. He said, don't forget to include the failures of the rich in your research. Other than that, you're on your way. Chef Jean Marie says, got it. Reciprocity is key. Don't ever ask for anything without being willing to give something in return. Otherwise, you are a charity case. You've got to get out of being a charity case. If you can't help yourself, nobody else can help you. What steps have you taken? You've got to come prepared. What steps have you taken prior to coming to me? What steps have you taken prior to going to your mentor, prior to going to your boss? What conversations have you had with yourself? What sacrifices have you made? Is this too tough of a conversation today? Because y'all sure are quiet. Y'all are quiet today. Janine Gatewood says, I was told that we need 3 things to get ahead in life: a coach, a mentor, and an advocate. Now we can add sponsor once we have all of the other things under wraps and we've done the work. You have to do the work. You have to lay the foundation. You have to build the foundation. It's nobody else's job to do that for you. If you don't have a foundation, I can't help you lay the brick and pour the cement. You have to pour the cement. That's the hardest job, and leveling it out. Yes, this is okay. Miss Chanel said this conversation is right on time. You have to do the work, you guys. Deborah Valentine said, no, it's not too tough. It's much needed. I hope so. I have to have this conversation with myself all of the time. And a lot of times I tell myself, before you go asking, just remember, wherever they got it from, you can get it. My job, sometimes when I feel stuck, I tell myself, you just got to figure out where they got it from and how long did it take them to get there. Dr. Sarah Williams says, as a clinical supervisor, the hardest lesson with my mentees is autonomy development. Oh, you want to talk about that, Dr. Sarah? You want to talk about that? Hold on. Autonomy, y'all. Let me hold on. Because we like to keep it technical over here. Autonomy, independence or freedom. That's what it comes down to. Independence or freedom. Independence or freedom as the will or one's actions, the autonomy of an individual, the condition of being autonomous, self-government, or the right of self-government. Standing on your own 2 feet. when the shit gets hard. Finding your other self. In the book that we're reading, Outwitting the Devil, he talks about exploring your other self. Your other self is that girl or that guy deep inside that can get the damn job done, but he or she often does not show up until it's an emergency. And that's the girl and that's the guy that you're supposed to be tapping into every single day. And not only when the shit hits the fan, and not only when your back is up against the wall, but every day. Optimal living is what they call it in healthcare. We call it in layman's term being blessed on every level, being a mastermind of your own life. And you know what it takes, y'all? Just a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and often disconnecting. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Most of us are uncomfortable being by ourselves long enough to explore our thoughts. And as a result, we have a huge phenomenon of people claiming to be lonely. In that time of being alone, what are you doing? What are you creating? What are you developing? What conversations are you having with yourself? We need 3 wins every day. You need a spiritual win, you need a physical win, and you need a mental win. And if more therapists would challenge their patients that come in stressed, depressed, anxious, to say, or lonely, okay, tell me how you're utilizing that time when you feel alone. We can get some shit done out here. We can start challenging people to, hold on, wait a minute. What are you doing with that time? Are you being physically active? No. Why not? Are you creating? No. Are you on social media? Yeah. What are you watching? What is your intake? What decisions have you made? Who are you listening to? Come on. You know what? Let me go. Y'all not ready. Let me go. Let me go. If we really think about it, we have the power to change our own lives. Not only in corporate America, but in our health and wellness, in the way we eat, in the way we sleep, in the way we treat ourselves, and especially how we treat others. You can only be good to others as you are to yourself. So if you are that coworker, if you are that girl, that boy that it's hard to get along, y'all, it ain't you, it's them. It's how they treat themselves. It's how they treat themselves. It's not that they don't trust you, they don't trust themselves. They haven't carved out enough time to spend time with themselves and trust the process and trust that their work is good enough. So of course they're going to micromanage you. Of course it's going to feel like you're being a bit intrusive. It's never you, it's them, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? How are you showing up? What work have you done? How are you utilizing your time? I feel like I'm up here by myself. Normally y'all come up. Normally y'all come up on Wednesday mornings, but I may be coming down a little bit too hard. Yeah. Here in Morris's mentorship versus sponsorships. I appreciate the clarification. Yes. And please do not ever go again asking without willing to without being open or willing to give something in return. What do you mean by that? Even preparation, a plan, something. Otherwise, you present yourself as a charity case, and that scares people. That scares your mentor because you're not prepared, and they're not going to tell you that. You know what they think? You're not even on the level, sweetheart, to be having this conversation with me because you came and you showed up unprepared. You don't know where you're headed. I can't tell you what career path is best for you. Those are things you should have mapped out over the years. Those are talks and conversations that you should have discovered along the way. What are you good at? What sets your soul on fire? Where do you thrive? These are things that you guys do talk about in interviews. You know, when you interview for jobs and they say, tell me why you're interested in this role. Tell me how you navigate. Snatch by Diego says, child, class is in session. Yes, it is. Dr. Sarah Williams, I appreciate your honesty. She says, this is a tough conversation, but it is necessary. That's how we win. That's how we pick up the speed and the momentum. Welcome, Miss Deborah, priority panelist. What are your thoughts this morning?
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to come up because I ain't scared to come up here. Uh, I was actually running around trying to wait for these people to come work in my basement. What I wanted to say is, first of all, thank you for the conversation. I think I'm going to tell you, my experience has been that people who are not willing to, I don't know, how do I say, give input or I think some people are scared or they lack confidence. And this is why they're absolutely draining to a mentor. You can try to help people, but they want you to do everything for them. I've had cases where I worked for the post office and I was kind of known as being a mentor for like the younger clerks that came in, the window clerks, the what they call them, sales and services associates. When you come into the post office to buy your stamps or whatever, I would kind of latch onto them, and try to show them to boost their confidence. But I'm telling you, it got draining sometimes. So, and I think a lot of times it's because they just didn't know what to do. So they didn't do anything. And I found myself being drained by trying to constantly help them and do the work for them. So you got to be careful with that too, even as you're trying to be a mentor, putting your hands, pushing them too hard. Some people they have to learn to do things for themselves. I think am I on the right track with what we were talking about? Because I was kind of
Yeah,
distracted
it's
while
your
I was
yeah,
trying to get my
it's your
coffee and all
story.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I've had experiences with that, and it's kind of like I got to the point where I just felt drained. So yeah, but I found was that people just lack confidence, and then some of them were just downright lazy. But for the most part, it was just they lack confidence. And as much as I tried to give them confidence and show them what to do and how to be helpful, and some of them got it, some of them didn't. So that's all I wanted to say.
well, thank you for sharing. We appreciate you sharing, Deborah. You have a
Mhm.
beautiful day, love.
You too. Thanks.
All right. It's like Candy. You have the floor. What are your thoughts? You're on mute.
Hey, Queen Sheba. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I just wanted to come up. Life has been lifing, but um, things are working out. And I just wanted to tell you that you are so loved. And I so needed to hear that today about the three wins: the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. And I also wanted to put this out there to piggyback off of what you were saying. In my past experience, um, I'm one of those people that if you need help or if the problem isn't solved, then I don't care who has the great idea. Let's put the idea forward. Let's get it done. I'm not big on to needing the glory or receiving the glory or receiving a pat on the back. Well, sometimes that can be a gift and sometimes that can be a curse. And in my past experience, especially with corporate America, I had a former boss. She wasn't that strong in Excel and PowerPoint or creating graphs and so um, she would come to my desk. Can I borrow your brain for a second? Right. And I'd be like, sure, I'm trying to be helpful, and I missed that my help turned into enabling. And it just now I just have boundaries when it comes to all of that. When it comes to over extending myself, over extending advice, and something now in my new job that I've learned from you is to make sure I'm a little bit more withdrawn. They don't need to know all your personal business. Just keep it to superficial, kind of how we were in the interview. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. And that's all. That's it. That's enough. And I just wanted to tell you, I really appreciate your advice, and I'm living it, and it's helping me. And I just wanted to come up and share that.
I'm glad you did. And thank you. And for those of you that are tuned in, did you hear what she said? After a while, I did not realize that I was contributing to the enablement because I wanted to quote unquote help. And it's okay to help. And she ended up setting healthy boundaries so that she can remain productive.
Yeah. Because after a while, we both had our own separate deadlines. And even though she was my boss, I think she got it twisted. So I had to learn how to kind of still be friendly in that, but girl, YouTube it. That's how I learned how to do it. And I would show her, this is where I got the YouTube video on how to do it. Or, you can always take an Excel course. So she got the hint that I'm not going to teach you PowerPoint. If you didn't learn it at your school, that's your bad. YouTube it. Everything's on YouTube now. So eventually she got the message, and I felt very powerful that I didn't come across as like confrontational or angry I didn't sister girl. I just simply, you can go to YouTube. That is where I go for everything. And that was my way to make sure she heard what I was saying, but without getting all, making it messy. And eventually she stopped coming to my desk and she figured it out. Because she knew eventually she was going to have to all figure it out. Everybody got to learn some of that software because you're going to bump into it in corporate America in some type of format. So that's what I wanted to say. Have a great morning. I love you. I love the show. I saw what you had on at Mimosas with Melody. Girl, you was shining for the state of Texas. You was Miss Texas, Miss Houston, Texas for us representing. So congrats on everything. And I just wanted to say I love you.
Thank you. And we love you too. It's like candy. Listen, and
I
thank you
can
for
feel
coming
it
up.
when you walk.
Hey, it takes over me. I used to
Have a good
love that
day.
song when I was little.
Yes, that song is something personal because my name is Candace, and so my dad would always play that in the 80s, 90s, and so it's very personal to me. It makes me think of him because he's no longer with us. So yes, ma'am.
Well, we love you here in the palace, and we appreciate when you show up, especially when you share how you've navigated corporate America
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you shifted some things around in order to remain right at your best. Because it's important that if we show up, we're showing up at our best. So thank you, and you have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye bye.
Okay. Simone Wealthy says, I have a pivot meeting this morning that could possibly grow my career. I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it nervous. Come back up, Simone. I saw you were here. The lines are open, and there were a few more people that were here. The lines are open, y'all. Come on back up. I would like to hear about it. I would like to hear about it. I'll keep the line open for a few more minutes, and if not, 2 more minutes. Okay. We're going to, oh, okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, the Asset. All right. So let's go back to some of these comments. M. Mills says, I've been a trainer, supervisor, and manager for over 30 years. They drained me so much that I am not doing it again. Listen, she said that y'all come in there looking for stuff, asking, that's for mentorship. Listen, has drained her so much. So she will never do it again. We cannot be upset with her. You've got to go prepared. You've got to go prepared, you all. Otherwise, you are a charity case. And I don't mean that in an offensive manner. But if you look at it, it's like, okay, I thought I was signing up to be a mentor, but this guy or this gal is not quite ready for that. And now I'm finding myself in a position to bring him or her up to speed, years of speed that they should have received many, many years ago. So we just want to make sure that wherever we're going and whatever doors that we're knocking on, that we're prepared if and when they open. That's all. Chef Jan says, I totally agree with the caller that said she was drained being a mentor. Over a decade of academic advising got me there. As hard as it was, I didn't want their lack of I did not want their lack of preparation later. Yeah, you have to be prepared to have these types of conversations with someone when you are asking for mentorship or anything, right? Because can I tell you something? A successful and savvy person is not going to hand you anything because you ask for it. If they choose to respond, they may ask you some really hard questions and you may feel that's a bit intrusive. Well, you're knocking at their door. You are knocking at their door looking for their expertise and or their resources by way of their skills, their talent. So they have to ask you questions, or they may feel compelled so that they can assess where you are and if it's a good fit for them, meaning their time and their efforts. Okay, Simone has her meeting in 3 minutes. She's going to fill us in. Simone, we just want you to take a deep breath. We want you to inhale and exhale. We want you to ask great questions, and we want you to hear the question. Remember, less is more. You got it. And go in and show up and just be yourself. All right? Any other questions before we end? We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes before we end the show. I really hope it's been helpful. Okay, Valerie. Valerie says, I had a woman that I supervised that was upset with me because she said we as Black women have to look out for each other. Problem is, she wasn't doing her job. So what is it that you want from me? That's a good question. What are y'all's thoughts on that? What are y'all's thoughts on that? What are your thoughts? I believe you have to do the work, even if it means delaying gratification and going back to the start to assess where you should have pivoted. If you need to go back and relearn some things, have some different conversations, I don't know. But I really hope this conversation has caused you just to pause, to assess, to ask yourself the necessary questions so that you can gather more data to make an informed decision. And with that being said, let's go to our super chat. Hold on.
All right, Palace, the Super Chat Squad is in the building. We appreciate you, baby. The Super Chats are fire. Get in your bag.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is. Money, 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 money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. The astute Queen Bee, thank you for your super chat today. A 2-piece and a pepper. No caption needed. She said what she said. We appreciate you, Queen. And if y'all haven't already, please check out her channel. She's also a content creator here on YouTube, and her channel is just as it sounds in the chat. Astute Queen Bee Thoughts, y'all. All right, we have a priority panelist. Welcome, the Aset Noir. What are your thoughts on today's conversation? And we are going to do a mic check with the Aset. I want to make sure I can hear you. Let's try again. Can y'all hear the Aset, or is it just me? Let's see. She's going to drop down and come back up. She's going to drop down and come back up. But in the meantime, let me just go over a couple of things that we're doing right now behind the palace walls for our members only platform. We are currently reading the book Outwitting the Devil. We meet every Sunday at 6:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. Y'all, listen, we do a lot of great things here for the women and the men of the palace. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. If you don't know, this book was banned from publication for over 80 years until the last of his lineage passed away, and his wife was the last one to pass away, and they released the book in 2014. It is absolutely life-changing. Life-changing. Every Sunday. So this Sunday, we'll be reviewing chapters 3 and chapter 5. And you go behind the wall and join the membership. We have resources back there for you. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out. If you don't know, now you know, baby. We are cruising. We're setting sail together as a group. Over 100 of us are cruising December 30th. We're leaving out of Galveston, y'all, for 5 days. We are bringing in the new year together for 2025. If you would like to cruise with us, it's not too late. All of the information, don't ask me. You got to go behind the wall. See, you got to do your work. You got to go behind the wall, but that's what we're doing. If you would like to cruise, we're setting sail December 30th. And we're going to have a hell of a good time. That's what we're doing. And if you haven't already, listen, take my YouTube brand acceleration course. It's $100 off Right now, we pushed it back 1 week because a few of you have asked me for a little bit more time to get your coins together. And honey, I understand. But listen, you do not want to miss this course. I am enrolled. Not only have I accelerated my own brand, my own product here on YouTube, but I've done so in every realm of metrics and KPIs that YouTube has pulled me into their own partner program and partnered me with a more senior product developer who is actually from a different country who specializes in data and analytics. So I'm learning everything. And I'm teaching you not only what I know, but the tips that YouTube is giving me to help my brand accelerate. And with that being said, welcome the Asset Noir.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome
Oh,
back. Good morning.
awesome. It's been a challenge this morning, but hey, challenges are there to make you great. So
What are your
I accept.
thoughts on today's conversation?
It's life changing. It's a tough conversation. It's a conversation that we all need to have. We all need to implement. I'm not at step 7 wealthy, but I'm aiming to get there. So I appreciate you having that conversation. In regards to the mentor mentee and the sponsorship, um, that was clarity for me too. I guess I conflated the two, and I appreciate the definition and the distinction. Um, Me personally, being a mentee, I always do a SWOT analysis of myself so I know my strengths, my weaknesses, areas that will bring opportunities, what the trend is, what the threats are before I approach someone to mentor me so that I'm not wasting their time or their time. So I definitely appreciate the conversation. Keep going. This is definitely building a community.
Absolutely. And I'm glad I was able to share because when I heard the video, and I'll play it one more time before we leave, I understood what she was attempting to say, but it's okay because my a senior director actually taught me. And here's the value of having those important relationships and being vulnerable in corporate America. A senior director who was a white woman actually taught me the difference between a sponsor and a mentorship. And she told me without me asking, I'm your sponsor. I'm pushing for you in your advancement. There's a difference between a sponsor and a mentor. And not only did she say that, Thea said, and for those of you that are tuned in, she said, you don't speak to your sponsor in a way that you would talk to your mentor. Let me say it again. You would not speak to your sponsor in a way that you would speak to your mentor.
Oh my God!
Yes, I kid you not. What are your thoughts?
Understood. It's two different approaches because it's two different outcomes.
Yes. She in the example she gave me, she said, "When my mentor, I may be like, when I check in, oh, hey, this was going on with the kids, and church was this way, and oh, I'm having a hard time here. Da da da. Da. With my sponsor, everything is great. Yes, I'm up to par. I'm da 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 da. You have got to be boom, 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 ready to go with your sponsor because you're asking for their resources. So you have to show that you are tightened up, you're buttoned up and you are what? Help me with the words. What? Prepared?
Yes, ready to execute. So when I think of mentorship, just to put it in layman's terms as an example, the mentor is your parent, the way you talk to your children or your parent or a relative, and the way they check on you. Your job, your career is your sponsor because you have to perform in order to get the payout.
And another piece of advice, you don't go to random people and ask, "Can you be my mentor? Can you be my sponsor?" It's awkward. There's no rapport, and that's just what I was taught.
Hmm.
You
I
don't
would agree.
you would agree? Tell me
I
why you
would.
say that.
Because it's like approaching a stranger out of the blue, just a random person. Wouldn't you feel awkward if someone off the street just walked up to you and just said, "Hey, I need you to be my mentor. I need you to sponsor me." You haven't built any history or relationship with this person on any level. You don't know them, not even their names. So that's a little weird.
Yep, and I'm gonna play this video one more time, and I'm going to pause it, y'all. I'm gonna play it one more time, and I want Dia said I want us to kind of dissect it together. The with this lady talking about mentorships, how Black people are in corporate space are overly mentored but underly funded. And I think going to a table with the assumption that I'm here to get something from you, what you've built and create, is the wrong approach. Let's. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was taught the term as a little girl, and people may disagree initially with it. My dad always taught me to be a user, and I said, "Why be a user?" He said, "Because you want to be used. You want to be used to get someone to the next level because you're going to have to use someone to get to the next level." And it's like what you said, the reciprocity. So always be that user.
This past weekend at Mimosas with Melody, Dr. George Frazier, who was a phenomenal speaker, Dr. George Frazier said, first of all, successful people are not placing themselves in a room with you. You got to go find them. You have to go find them. You have to put yourself where they are. And the number one mistake that most people make when around successful people is you ask them for something. Did he not say that?
He did. He dropped a lot of gems, but that was his primary goal right there, what you said.
Do not ask them for anything. Show up asking how you can be of service to them to establish a rapport and a relationship. And y'all, we got to have that conversation. We cannot show up like that asking first. And that didn't come from me. That came from Dr. George Frazier. I knew that, but most of us don't know that. Savannah, welcome, welcome. I want to give you a chance to jump in before I share the video again.
Good morning, Queen, and good morning, Palace. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
I apologize. I've been trying to clear people out of my office for a while now because they wanted to jump in. I'm enjoying the conversation, and I actually wrote the word pivot on my board once you shared it so that whoever may come into the hallway can see, what our word of the day is today as well. But when I sit with the younger professionals in my building, I always ask them, to prepare themselves for that pivot or how to make things happen. And one thing that I know I do is I start by setting the stage for success and establishing a clear vision and what is your intention. Always, what is your why? So, what is my why? Is what drives me to make that pivot or that change. And I had to reflect also on the people that I've encountered that inspire me and have made an impact on whether it's in my career, my professional life, or even in my personal life. And then I also have to take a personal inventory of what are my strengths and weaknesses, and how do I stay in my true authentic self, which is also a conversation that we've had here during our Wednesday sessions as well. So all those beautiful nuggets, you have to then map out the goals. What are your goals, and what are going to be the challenges, or what do you find energizing to be able to establish and attain that goal? But one thing that I took from this conversation today is um, reimagine your company. And when I say your company, it's the people who are around you on a, whether it's your co-workers, your family, your church people. Some of these can be time stealers. Some of these can be energy stealers. And who is around you, and how do they operate or support whatever important change you're trying to accomplish in your time, whether it's to be um, complete your degree, or become more financially successful or relief. But how do these people make an impact um, in what goal you're trying to set for yourself? But so who are these people around you, and how do they operate or support that important change that you're trying to make? And do they make a meaningful impact in your life with their presence or even with their absence? Because sometimes you have to clean your circle. And how do they align with your personal vision? So it's also important on how you show up, because we have to start taking accountability exactly for where we are today and how we're going to make that change tomorrow, even if it's by one simple step. So um and as women, we fail to sometimes identify our resources, whether it's groups or even
Yep.
YouTube channels, podcasts, programs at work. Don't be afraid to sign up. Just like today, don't be afraid to come up, hit the link and share and ask questions. And this is all a form of networking. So you have to be able to invest in the content and connect with
I
other
agree.
people. And attend conferences, mimosas with Melody. If I live closer, my schedule is free. One year I'm going to attend, and I can't wait to meet a group of amazing women, and men as well, and men as well. But these people, this is how you gain knowledge and support each other and help make meaningful connections. And it's not also all professional based. It also could be about personal growth as well. But these connections help propel you forward to whatever goal that you're trying to reach. So seek other women, especially in the political climate that we are, the culture climate that we're all experiencing. I mean, it's an amazing time to be alive. And I wanted to share those thoughts before somebody else ran into my office, Queen. So
Thank
thank you
you.
for giving me this
We
moment.
appreciate it, Savannah. Thank you for sharing. I wanted to give you that opportunity. Thank you for sharing so much. And Savannah says she's put the word of the day on her board so that her employees could see it. We're gonna wrap up, y'all. I know we're at the end of the segment. We're gonna keep our comments really short so that we don't hold you. I want to play this video really, really quick. And I promise you we're gonna keep our comments short. Casey says, I know my why. What next? Write that down. My why is, where do I go from here? All right, let me do this really quick because I got to go. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to play it again. Watch this. The set, we're going to break it down. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. And we're about to be out of here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I got to take I do that all the time. I have to take this off. Can we see it now? We're good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Here we go. And I'm not going to, ladies, I don't want to rush you, but we got to keep our comments short and sweet and to the point. We got to go through this really quick. Here we go.
Over mentored, and I truly believe that. Where we're different with Black Ambition, and this mostly comes from like my past current, but like entrepreneurial experiences. I had some really great mentors, and I had a lot of BS mentors that would just look at my deck and say, okay, change this, change that. But like if I needed the buyer for Whole Foods and you had that person in like as a contact, as a college buddy, and you would look at what I'm building, understand the value of it, but you would never make that phone call for me, well, you're doing me more of a disservice.
I think, okay, let me really quickly. Do you said, I know you got to go and I got to go too. What are your thoughts on this really quickly? Just that part.
I think this young lady has conflated what the purpose of her mentor is. The mentor is to guide you. You're not asking for, or maybe she is asking for everything, the connects, the funding, etc. But no, a mentor is to just help you stay on your path. Just my thought.
Okay. Savannah, what are your thoughts really quickly?
I agree. I think that the meaning of mentor is much more different. She has to put in the work And then a mentor is more for guidance and support, but not to make things successful and easier for someone. You don't learn that way.
I agree with both of you. I think my thoughts are be grateful in all things. Anytime that anybody steps up to give you a bit of guidance, and if you're opening up a PowerPoint, whatever it is, and they say, okay, you may want to change this around, and especially if you went knocking on their door, especially if you went knocking on their door, let's not be deceitful in our outreach, looking for a mentorship when what we really want is financial sponsorship. To expect a mentor to open up their Rolodex to connect you with the buyer of Whole Foods because you have a product can be misleading if that's not what you conveyed and or communicated in the initial outreach. Let's continue on. Here we go.
And that's what I've seen happen for the years that we were building Black Tech Week. That's what I've seen happen in the beginning years of Black Ambition. Is like you had a lot of people that wanted to mentor Black people to get a pat on the back. They weren't actually valuable in opening up their Rolodex and opening up like their contacts and putting you on. And
I think it's important that we choose our words very carefully when we say they mentored me, but they were not valuable in this area. What are your thoughts, Diaset?
Again, conflating the two with sponsorship and mentorship. Do you want to be put on? Be specific and ask that question. I'm looking for a inroad into this industry. Can you help me? Just a thought.
Okay. Savannah, quickly, what are your thoughts?
I think that she's doing a disservice. Mentors don't necessarily need to be from the same race, age group, culture. I think in order to get a better experience, you should cross. I think you should collaborate with all. I don't think it should just be focused on having a Black mentor or this young lady is confusing me.
All right. Thank you, Savannah. Real quick, we're about to play it and end it, you guys. Here
I
we
know
go.
people say this quote all the time: Black people are underfunded but over mentored. And I truly believe that.
I think mentorship is good if that's what you need. I think it's good if that's what you need, but I think it's important to know the difference between what you're asking for, a mentorship versus a sponsorship. And with that being said, we're going to wrap up today's segment, and I'm going to give our panelists an opportunity to share with you what they are leaving you with and or taking away from today's conversation. As always, we end with a positive. I'm going to start with Savannah. Savannah, what would you like to leave the audience with, or what are you taking away from today's conversation?
So I would like to leave the audience with be clear on your why. And don't be afraid to journal, write it down, take notes, and eventually you will be clear of your vision, your mission, and it's going to lead you to that pivot that you need to take. But be clear on your why.
Thank you. Diaset Noir, what would you like to leave the audience with, or what are you taking away from today's conversation?
I would like to leave the audience with an acronym for the word pivot. Pour in value and offer thanks to those who pour into you. Pivot. Uh-oh. Did I lose
There
you?
we go. I put it up there. Pour in value, offer thanks. I didn't hear thanks on that video. I heard disdain and frustration. Gratitude and fear cannot exist in the same place. If we start off with gratitude, our perception changes. And I want to go to the Black women lifestyle. She says, I think she's saying they did not inform her the next steps. However, if she did not ask them or tell them her path to get where she wants to be. And here's another thing, a level of accountability. Your why. What is your why? What is your why for outreaching? What is your why for wanting them to be a mentor? Is it because of who they're connected to? Is it because of what you perceive to be their financial resources and you did not get what you came for It all goes back to having a transparent, a genuine, and authentic why. What is your why? So if your why was to access your Rolodex and they thought they were simply being a mentor, of course, that would leave a little bit of frustration because the why was not conveyed and made aware to both parties. Does that help the Black women lifestyle? Thank you, Dia said. I know you have to jump off. We appreciate you coming up to share your expertise. Janine says, I guess I would have asked her if that was the norm for the mentor. Did the mentor open his Rolodex? No, and they don't have to. That's why we're talking about it, so that none of you make the same mistake of walking into a corporate relationship where you are granted the gift of a mentor and you're expecting them to sponsor you in ways that they don't have to. Nobody has to do anything for you. You are the author and the finisher of your faith. And that's what I leave you with. And with that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Take care.
Take care, Queen. Get better. Bye-bye.
Okay, you too, Savannah. Have a good day.